Welcome to What's Up, Bolts. I know that usually I'm Fernando Ramirez. Usually I'm very loud and I do it with a high pitched voice, but unfortunately I'm still here at SoFi Stadium. I cannot be loud. There's people working, there's security looking at me. People are looking at me like if I'm weird. With me
Yeah.
is Dan and Daygo. Dan, obviously, let's just start it off right off the bat. Chargers win 24-19 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Just real quick, your thoughts, just the overall emotion the roller coaster of emotions you went through the game.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not the type of guy to say I told you so, but when I tell you son of Odin is going to son of Odin and Derek Carr is going to Derek Carr, you saw exactly what I meant today. There was a wide open pass on their first drive. Darren Waller wide open, beat Derwin James. I don't know how or why, but that's all right. Throws it right behind him, just enough to where Derwin can break it up. And look, dude, 3 points. What a killer. Then other times in the game, it was behind, it was forward. Then it's turnovers, dude. Like, what are we even doing? Like, I think that is the biggest positive out of this first game. Like, it's not the same Charmin ultra soft defense we saw last year, baby. They're trying to get physical. Like, mind you, there was one D lineman I saw out there who every single time he was out there, he was back at linebacker depth, safety depth. I was like, why the hell are we bringing him instead of another defensive lineman, not to get, start burying people too early. But other than that, I thought it was a very solid defensive game. What more can you ask? They did their job. They did turnovers and all that stuff. Today was, what do you think, Fran? I thought the offense looked a little lackluster in the second half. I couldn't believe what I was watching right there. My X Factor low-key let me down a little bit in the second half.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where the Chargers offense started off very hot. I think in the first quarter, I think I tweeted out that Justin had thrown for over 200 yards and he had two touchdowns, and he was on fire. But the problem is that in the second half, the Patrick Graham and the Raiders adjusted very well to not having Keenan Allen in there. DeAndre Carter comes in, Gerald Everett's in there. They start making plays, and the Raiders at one point were able to settle down, and they were able to get that out of there. DeAndre Carter, 3 catches, 64 yards, and
big shout out,
that great touchdown. Man, Justin was really touching today, but I just wanted to go back real quick going back based off of that. Yeah, no, the offense was very good in the first half. In the second half, it felt like at one point they kind of not put the brake on it, but it felt like they were running the football. They had gotten all these turnovers, but they were running on first and second down, then having to do a third and long. So I understand where that kind of people thought that they thought that Joe Lombardi went conservative, but I didn't think so. I just thought you have 3 good running backs that can get you first downs. It just didn't materialize. The one thing I will say, I thought towards the end they shouldn't have put Sonny Michel in that game. I thought Joshua Kelly was running the ball really well, and I thought Joshua Kelly should have gotten a little bit more snaps to kind of try and end the game if that's what they were trying to do.
Exactly, right? Like, I thought it was so weird in the first half. He was getting his touches. He was looking solid. Then all of a sudden in the second half, put him on a milk carton. He's MIA, dude. I don't know what the hell happened. I think one thing that bothered me, Frown, you bring up a good point about that. I just didn't like all the lateral running, especially with Sonny Michel. Like, dude, just get Sonny Michel in there between the tackles and let's power. Let's get some physicality in there. The last thing I'll say about the run game real quick, this really, absolutely, every time I saw him get in there, pissed me off. I don't know if you noticed, Storm Norton was in there like a wing. They brought in like an extra offensive line. Exactly, and he was winged up just to get blown up. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that, like, dude, don't focus on that highlight clip of Trent Williams going in motion and just absolutely destroying someone. Like, this guy's not even good enough to tie up his shoes, dude. Like, come on, it's not the same type of caliber. I get you're trying to be creative and everything else, but like, you need to play to your team's strength if that makes sense.
Dan, can you give us a little bit of an evaluation of the offensive line, since you are an offensive line coach? And you don't have to go completely into depth, but just off of what you saw, were you impressed by the chart? I mean, let's be honest. They held your quarterback was not sacked today. So
yeah, exactly.
Justin Herbert, not sacked. He was hit a couple of times. But were
Yeah, a
you
little
impressed by the
pressure.
offensive line on today?
100%, dude. Like the stark contrast, I already knew for real, straight up. Max Crosby wanted nothing to do with Rashawn Stonewall Slater. We already knew about that. So to see him go up against Trey Pipkins and maybe get one or two pressures the whole game, like that was, I thought that was a pretty welcome surprise in this man's humble opinion. You know what I mean? Like I thought they were pretty efficient even in the run game. They were moving the ball very well, very solid. I thought Justin Herbert was upright a lot more than he had been in years past. And overall, like I would give it at least a B solid grade. There was a few times I get pissed where, like I mentioned previously, bringing in an extra offensive lineman at the wing, and then he gets blown up or he trips or whatever. Then I think there was one where Zion Johnson whiffed on a guy or took the wrong angle and he made a TFL or whatever. But I mean, it's minimal things that you can clean up. So 100%, I think this is probably the best we've started with an offensive line with five guys up front than in years past.
Yeah, no, and so Rashawn obviously did his job. I thought he did really well against Chandler Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And if I can be completely honest, I didn't even hear Chandler Jones' names almost at all during the game, except for a couple of tackles for loss. But he really didn't make much of an impact on that side, and it's just because Rashawn is that good. And it's
he's just
no
a
shot.
dog, dude. He's just a dog. He's just a dog. There's no
He's got
shots.
that dog mentality.
Yeah, he's got that dog mentality. He's got the flower in the pot and he's watering the pot to get it going, dude.
By the way, I cannot wait to hear on Monday. Lou Holtz will be talking on the Pat McAfee show about
I'm so amped, dude. Dude, I'm so amped because we have that, and then we have the New England debacle, dude, for Boston.
Oh yeah. So Dan, obviously, so what will just give us a letter grade. Offensive line, what would you give them?
Yeah, I would say like a B. I thought they were very solid up front. I was pleasantly surprised. I'll put it like that. I was pleasantly surprised because, I mean, we've all seen Trey Pipkins in games past. He's not, he wouldn't, how can I put this politely? He wouldn't look very good when he was out there. And today I thought he was solid. He stood his ground for the most part. Crosby, I don't think really did anything. He only had a few plays, few hurries. But other than that, like, up front, seriously, I thought they were solid. They ended the game. I think to end the game, they got a first down while rushing the football, either with Michelle or Eckler. I can't remember who. So
it was Michelle.
So, I mean, overall in years past, like, when would you ever see a Chargers offense do that successfully? I think they were very efficient in the run game today. Like I said, the only thing that bothered me was getting Storm Norton in that wing and some of the lateral running. I don't like that. Go downhill, be powerful, be physical, be violent.
The Chargers continuously ran the ball, 31 carries, 76 yards. Not exactly what you want, but at times they were efficiently moving the football. That's what you want, obviously. I mean, now we have to talk about the guy, Khalil Mack. Let me look at his stats.
Another dog. Another dog.
6 tackles, 3 tackles for losses, and 3 sacks. He was just all over the place. And this is what Derwin James had to say about Khalil Mack after the game, after his 3-sack performance.
Bro, did you watch the game? 3 sacks, like, bro, come on, like he's amazing, man. Like, he's different for sure.
What does he add to your guys' defense?
Toughness. He just alpha, a dog, a leader in the locker room. I mean, it's with him. He like the complete package, and I'm like, we lucky to have him for sure.
So hyped, dude. So hyped. Like, the thing, what's funny is, like, all offseason, all we heard is he the same guy? He was hurt last year. And it's like, dude, he still has that same high motor, same dog mentality as Derwin says. Even Derwin, gosh dang, dude, he was probably number 2 in sacks for the team today. I think he had like 2, didn't he? Or 1.5?
No, he had one. He had 1. Joey had 1.5.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely
so they all got it. And then Morgan Fox had the other half with Joey.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like, I thought, seriously, I haven't seen Chargers defensive line control that pocket Like, I don't think I've seen that maybe since Jamal Williams. I can't even tell you when. Like, there were moments, seriously, where Carr felt pressure, and he just had to dump that thing to whatever and whoever. That's probably what caused some of these turnovers, honestly, also. Because you would just see the pocket collapsing, and I was getting hyped, and then he'd get rid of it, obviously. Because he's a vet. He knows what's coming. He's about to get drilled by one of my boys.
So 4.5 sacks for Joey and Khalil Mack today combined. That's quite a few. And Khalil today, you know, it's funny, Dan, after the game, we go over and we try talking to him, and Julio Jones just made a great grab from Tom Brady. We asked him, like, hey, what did you think about the game and this in your performance? He didn't want to talk about the performance that he gave. He wanted to talk about the team as a whole. He is like, I'm a team guy first. I want to talk about the team. We showed what we could do when we're all settled in. So that was definitely good to hear. And this is what Khalil had to say about his relationship with fellow edge rusher Joey Bosa. Let's see what he had to say.
Oh man, it's real special, man. Just able to talk ball on the sideline and just communicate about what we're getting on either side, and trying to figure out what each tackle is giving us. You know what I'm saying? And so we were able to bounce ideas off each other throughout the game. I feel like they switched the guy in at some point. 77 came in. And there was a new guy. We had to kind of figure him out, and then kind of just bouncing ideas.
He said a key word. It's special. So Dan, just with the pass rush, what did you see from them today?
Like I was mentioning earlier, right? The perfect pocket, seriously, just imagine this is an umbrella, right? Tackles are going a little. Yeah, exactly. Or a hot pocket. No, a hot pocket's more straight. It's more like
they burn your mouth,
right? Yeah, that too. But an umbrella, right? The tackles are kicking. Oh, or even that. Yeah, I guess the tackles are kicking for depth, and that's kind of like the long part of bananas. Yeah, exactly. Hey, shout out to that little scumbag. The tackles are kicking for depth, right? Creating the longer part from the middle. And the middle guys just barely give up pressure, right, to give that beautiful thing. This was the first time where, gosh dang, that umbrella was collapsing a lot more often than not. And it was just with 4 guys that we were sending. So that was like a great change of pace to see. I'm so hyped for this defense, dude. Like, completely different freaking look than last year. I cannot wait to see J.C. Jackson back. I saw, I think it was our good compa, Jeff Miller, tweeting out that he could have played, but they're being precautious. So hopefully, he said his percentage, I think, went up for Thursday. So, I mean, we'll see, dude, because we're going to need everything we can get on the field over there to take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Dan, thank you for mentioning that. Let's go to Jeff's tweets. And he put, Chargers head coach Brandon Staley said the pregame reports on J.C. Jackson's workout were good. Said Jackson could have played, but the team is being cautious. Staley said the percentage of Jackson playing Thursday against Kansas City is higher than it was on Sunday, which is obviously that's just coach talk. But let's just say it like this. Let's just put it like this. If he would have played today, it would have been 2.5 weeks since his surgery. If he plays Thursday, it's 3 weeks. He was diagnosed for 2 to 4 weeks. So right there, you're kind of in the middle on Thursday, and he might be able to go. This week, we saw him in the locker room a couple of times, and he ran away from us. So we saw him running. He ran. So you never know. But
good sign. Good sign.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, no, JC's going to be a guy that they're going to need, obviously on Thursday. But let's go with who impressed you. Give me one player that stood out to you,
dude. Besides Khalil Mack, dude, everybody's looking like a dang genius for that one. You know who I'm going to say?
I remember some people were like, "Oh, he's washed," and I was like, "Oh."
Exactly, because of the injury and all that stuff. I think, seriously, to steal a line from Gilberto, I think the one that is owed to Modelo today is
no, we're not handing out. We're not handing out game balls yet.
Oh, okay. Who impressed me?
Just who impressed you?
You know, I'm going to say
that's different from a game ball.
Okay. Well, sorry, I didn't get the rundown on what's worth on what, but I'll say DeAndre. Is it DeAndre Carter or what? I know Carter's his last name. Yeah, I would say DeAndre Carter. Like, he stepped up huge, I think, after Keenan Allen went out. He made a few solid grabs. Is it only one person, or can I say a few?
Yeah, no, one. one.
Yeah, I'll go with DeAndre Carter then. He stepped up huge.
I'm going to go Gerald Everett, tight end.
Yeah.
I thought he was kind of an under the radar kind of player, and he ended up performing very well. He had a couple of catches for the Chargers today. He had 3 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. That one touchdown was very impressive. The one where he made that grab.
Oh yeah,
the one where he made that
just
grab
backpedaling into the end zone. Yeah, just
with Roderick Timber. Yeah, exactly. That was pretty impressive, to be completely honest. But that's who I was very impressed with. I thought Gerald Everett did a very good job, and he's an offensive player that obviously the Chargers are going to need this upcoming season.
100%. We can't have the drops at that position that we had last year. Did that cost us too many games?
Chargers offense without Keenan Allen. Obviously, I spoke to Keenan after the game, and he said that he has a possibility of being able to play on Thursday. He was walking around fine from what I saw, but obviously once the adrenaline wears down and everything, it might be different for him. But he said that I was like, he's like possibly. And then I asked him, well, what if it's on Thursday? And then he's like, small possibly. But he kept on saying that he felt good. So maybe the Chargers held him out as a precaution. And maybe he does play, but obviously the offense changes without him. But I thought today was a perfect chance to be able to show other guys, be able to show their stuff. And obviously, like we said, DeAndre showed his stuff. So did Gerald Everett. You kind of wanted more from Josh Palmer. He kind of left people wanting a little bit more. I think Jalen Guyton also was very quiet.
Dude, Mike was also.
Well, no. Well, that one is because that's what the Raiders took him away. The Raiders were double teaming. At one point I caught myself watching Mike for about 5 or 6 snaps, and they just took him away. They had 2 guys. They had a safety over the top, or they had a corner underneath, or they were just doing different things to take him away. It seems like Patrick Graham was like, hey, we're going to take him away, and we're going to make other guys beat us. And Keenan at one point was right there neck and neck, 4 catches, 66 yards. And I think Davante Adams at that point had 4 catches for 59 yards. So they were neck and neck, and then Keenan goes out. So it's going to be interesting. It's a short week for Keenan. Obviously, we won't know the extent of the injury until probably game time. I'm sure the Chargers will make him questionable this week, or he might have a questionable designation. And then he'll fly to KC, and they'll see before the game. But Keenan's a warrior. I'm sure Keenan will try and go if he can. Keenan's not one of those guys that likes to sit out. Well, nobody likes to sit out. But Keenan's one of those guys that's going to try his hardest this week. He'll probably live at the facility the whole week trying to go. But Dan, does this offense change a lot without Keenan in there?
I thought it kind of reminded me. When did he go out? Not in the third quarter, right? I think it was early, like in the second quarter.
Second quarter.
Yeah, like I think after he went out, we literally only scored in the third quarter, and that was it. Like that one touchdown to Gerald Everett. So I don't remember if we scored after.
Yeah, that's when, and after that, the offense really went down.
Yeah, like it didn't look the same. Like, mind you, some of the play calls were frustrating to me. Like I said previously, the lateral runs and some of these other things. But it's like it just completely reminded me of when Real Madrid doesn't have Benzema in the game. Like it's a ghost of themselves. You know, they can perform higher than they are, but it's like they're underperforming, and you don't understand why. Like I had a tough time realizing that because there was a couple passes like, okay, obviously you said he was taken away, but there was like one pass to Mike where he tried to catch with his body instead of like bodying the guy up and reaching out. So that was frustrating. Then we had Trey McKitty, who had a huge drop when we had the ball on the 2 or whatever, because I don't know what the hell the official was saying or thinking, that he was down at the 2 when he clearly falls into the end zone, but whatever. I didn't hear what it said on the TV. But that was the problem, dude. Like it was hard to get some people to step up, and then like they don't really use they don't really use Kelly out of the backfield in the second half. So it's like it's interesting. Like they're gonna have to figure something out to get guys open because this was a problem. And I seriously, I didn't even know Jalen Guyton was on the field. I think I saw him maybe once, and maybe he got 1 target. I don't know. I didn't really see him out there too much.
Dan, real quick before we move on, what did you think about? I was really impressed, or I don't know, maybe the Chargers starting to notice something about him, but I was very impressed that Asante Samuel Jr. was the one on Davante Adams almost the whole game.
Dude, he's a dog. He's a straight up dog.
It-
There was a part I absolutely loved when Davante said something to him and he just straight up started trash talking back and said, nope. Like what's his name? Kinte Matumbo or something like that. He's like, not in this house, dude. I'm not taking that garbage. I love the fact that he was trash talking. Then he made a great play. Oh my bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he made a great play on that interception anyway, because he was underneath and he realized he had thrown the ball. He ran all the way over, dude. Guy's a stud.
So like, thank you, Dan. I think you must have.
Oh my bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I seriously, if I remember correctly, most of Davante's catches were on Michael Davis. Well, she had a tough game today. But
he had a couple on Asante, but
yeah,
I remember the one where he turned Asante around also.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah.
You know what I saw them doing a lot of though? What they were doing was they would come out of their breaks and Darren Waller would take two corners with him.
Yeah.
And that's how they would get Davante open. He'd come up and he'd kind of go to, like, he would line up in front of Davante. He'd come out and he'd kind of take two corners with him, and that's what would free up Davante up a little bit. So they did that a couple of times.
Dude, yeah. You already know,
but
like,
this is Asante. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you already know Josh McDaniels' offense is not low IQ, dude. Like that, I couldn't even get mad really at the Van Noy, the touchdown scored on him. Not only is it tough because it's a linebacker covering a running back, but that was just a greatly designed play. Like that natural rub. I mean, it is what it is. I seriously thought the way Carr's arm angle was, I was like, oh, trash. He's going to throw it out of bounds or mess it up or something like that. I thought he got hit, but no, it was right on the money. So kudos to them. That was just a greatly drawn play.
So here's Asante Samuel Jr. on the trash talk between him and Davante. And also, he talks about the interception. That's why I said, oh, Dan must have seen my video on Twitter, because that's exactly what he talks about. He talks about first about the trash talking, and then he talks about the interception.
Oh, yeah, dude. You know I'm all over your Twitter.
What did you and Davante?
Oh, when we was touching him?
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to ask it was kind of a broken play, and I just kind of seen the ball and see ball, get ball.
Yeah, exactly.
See ball, get ball.
Dude. Dog.
See ball, get ball.
That's
you know, it's
right,
funny. Derwin tells us, he's like, oh, I know that Asante wanted that assignment. He's like, without JC, we're gonna give that. Asante was like, oh, I'll step up. He didn't want any help. He wanted it to be him. And then he's like, This part was hilarious. He's like, well, you know what school he came out of? Obviously, he went to Florida State, which is where Derwin came out of. So he was obviously excited about that.
What do they call that cornerback? You
DBU.
Oh, there it is. DBU. Yeah.
We're getting to that. Somebody just tweeted out, I didn't expect Jimmy G to start week 2, but yeah, that's possible. Wow, that'd be interesting. Jimmy G starting.
There's so many storylines, dude. Like, just for real quick,
one was so weird.
Yeah, so weird, dude. Like, they're already starting to hype up the Dolphins and all that, and I'm like, all right, let's take it easy. We're gonna find out and see what happens. Like, but
let's leave
that
one for COMPAS on the beat.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's leave that for COMPAS on the beat.
No,
yeah,
but what'd you say?
I was gonna say, like, the whole Trey Lance thing. Like, I don't understand it personally, because it's like there's a reason he sat last year. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just willy-nillies. He obviously didn't beat Jimmy G out of the gate last year. On top of that, Jimmy G, you don't even deal him. Then, like, he takes you to the NFC Championship last year. It's like, you're really going to, like, not stick with the guy who's been winning games for you. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone is the son of Odin. God of lightning. I am the only one who struck gold up in this mother. Everybody understand that? Not everyone can have that repeated success. But while we're on that topic, did you see MCDC versus Sirianni up there in Detroit?
No,
that was a pretty solid game, dude. Hard Knocks must have helped them out.
I'm going to watch the highlights when I get home.
They scored 35 points. When would you think an offense with Jared Goff would score 35 points, dude?
Well, at the beginning, he was scoring that with McVay and McVay's offense.
Oh,
but,
I don't count that Ram stuff, dude. I don't.
but
count
that's
that.
because
They had a
Todd
good
Gurley was
run
so
game.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. It was wild.
So
Dude.
obviously,
wild first day back.
So obviously, we're getting to the end of the show. Dan, game ball.
Game ball. Besides Khalil Mack, that has to be the guy it goes to, dude.
You can give it to whoever you want.
Yeah, dude, it has to be Khalil Mack. There's no better way to start off your debut game than being such a dominant force up front. He probably saw all the bulletin board material, these stooges, the blue check mark brigade were giving him, and he's like, "Oh, really? Is that what you think? I'm washed. I'm an old man. I'm this. I'm that. Okay, dude. Let me show you, and let me show you against my former team, the Stooges who knocked us out of the playoffs last year." Khalil Mack, game ball to you, dude. You're a freaking stud and a dog. I love dogs, dude.
Are you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Who do you think I'm going to go with?
I was going to think, seriously, either maybe Carter or a DB.
Ooh, you're close. I'm going to go Bryce Callahan.
Oh,
I think Bryce
Guy's
Callahan is – I think
Yeah.
that is a very underrated signing. He held Hunter Renfrow to 3 catches, 21 yards. He picked off Derek Carr, and he had 5 tackles. 5 tackles. Yeah, he had 5 tackles. Bryce Callahan is very underrated, in my opinion. I think he's a very good slot corner, and I think the Chargers have found themselves a gem right there with him. Wow, I was very impressed with him today. I thought the way he was able to take Hunter Renfrow kind of out of this game for a while.
100%.
I was very impressed by that.
Yeah, 100%. He was basically out of the game, dude. Like what'd you say? 3 for 21?
Yep.
Yeah, last year what he put up on us in one game, dude. I bet you his stats were like at least 2 times that. It was crazy, dude. Like he was out of the game. I don't think did Waller make a lot of noise? I saw him with a few catches.
No, yeah, he did. Waller had 4 for 79.
Oh yeah, actually that's pretty solid. He covered almost the whole length of the field. Yeah, so it was him and the Davante show. But like seriously, I think this team seriously is like you know how they say a house has good bones or whatever. You just gotta change it around a little bit. I think this team has good bones, dude. You just need to trim the fat at some places a little bit, and we're gonna be dang scary this. Oh, sorry, the Chargers are gonna be dang scary this year.
So he had.
If they can just be a little bit more efficient in the run game and on offense, in my mind, I think they're going to be unstoppable, dude. Obviously, barring any injuries and all that. If everyone stays healthy, this is going to be a scary dog team.
So last year he had 6 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown here in Los Angeles, and then in that Week 18 game, he had 4 catches for 13 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, see?
Hunter Renfrow. So
yeah, see, he's been a problem, dude.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
Like Derwin said on that pod, he's a guy.
Yeah, definitely. So looking ahead, the Chargers have a short week. They travel on Wednesday. They head to Kansas City. They play the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday. Kansas City today was I was very impressed. I think Dan and I we both regret our picks. I think we both went with Arizona. I thought Arizona might show a little bit more than they did, but the Chiefs won 44-21. Patrick Mahomes 30 for 39, 360 and 5 touchdowns. There was a lot made over the offseason if maybe he was done and everything, and there were even his own former teammate Tyreek Hill said that that Tua Tagovailoa threw a better ball, but hey, that's pretty interesting. Travis Kelce, 8 catches, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster TikToked his way to 6 catches for 79 yards. So it's going to be interesting to watch Kansas. Oh, there was a lot of fumble recoveries by Kansas City. Wow. Okay, that was pretty impressive. They sacked the quarterback 3 times. Snead, Dunlap, and Wharton. Oh, you know who had a touchdown today? Melvin Ingram. I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
his hair's grown out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw he scored a touchdown. But Dan, just real quick, we will just a little bit. Did you watch any of Casey's game? Oh, well, you were watching the Charger game, but
Exactly. My mind was taken. I was only watching the KC game here and there when the Chargers were on commercial because, number one, Travis Kelce's on my fantasy team. And not only did the Chargers win week 1, your boy won week 1, too, in fantasy. So appreciate you. Shout out to my fantasy team. But honestly, dude, like, it was funny because they were trying to hype. Like, I hate, I guess, saying hype up because, I mean, yeah, you won in the NFL and it's not easy. I get that. But it's like everyone forgets that, seriously, Andy Reid is one of the best offensive minds in the game. Like, you could put garbage men out there and he'll get him 100 yards a game because he knows how to scheme correctly against a lot of opponents and stuff like that. Plus, you don't know what Arizona is like in the locker room. Like, who knows what the state of Kyler Murray is and all that stuff, especially with all the stuff that went down in the offseason. Like, you don't just bury the hatchet that easily. Like, that was very much in the public. It was very nasty. So, I mean, who knows what it's like back there? I don't know if they lost guys and everything else. It's I don't know. I'm taking it kind of like we know Kansas City is capable of this, but we're going to find out real quick next week because it's a lot different to play a team that's not in your division. You see once every 4 years or whatever, whenever we match up with, the scheduling with the divisions and all that other witchcraft or whatever. So it's going to be definitely interesting Thursday, but I still like my chances. Or the Chargers' chances.
Well, we will be Dan and I will dive into that. There will be an episode of What's Up Bolts this week previewing Chargers Chiefs. I'm hoping to be joined by Joshua Briscoe this week. He's a cool guy. He works for SI covering Kansas City, so we will try and get in contact with Josh and try and have him on the show and to break down all things Kansas City. Dan, I think, met him at the Super Bowl. And he's a pretty cool guy. So we'll definitely ask him about Kansas City, the offense, the defense, just what worked for them, obviously, tonight. Also, we will have a regular COMPAS on the beat, even though it's a short week. We will be having a comeback COMPAS episode to break down Canelo versus Triple G this week. Be on the lookout for that. And also, we will be doing What's Up Bolts as soon as the Chiefs and Chargers game is over. Dan and I will be jumping on here, possibly doing it live right after, so we can answer any of your questions. So that'll be very interesting. And then, obviously, that'll be the post game wrap up. Obviously, for a short week for the Chargers this week. But guys, please go check out House of Horns. Those guys have got you covered as well. The Rams took a fat.
Appreciate you on the. Appreciate you, Bills.
they took a little bit of a beating on the night that they unveiled their banner, but Gilbert and Victor producer have you guys covered in all things House of Horns, all things Rams. So go check them out. Check out COMPAS on the beat. Check out Combat COMPAS. Check me out on Twitter. Yes, I'm back. Yes, I'll be covering the Chargers. Yes, I'll be writing as well, starting later this week as well. So be on the lookout for all that stuff. We appreciate you guys so much. Again, the Chargers beat the Raiders 24-19. They start the season 1-0, and like we said, short week. They go to Kansas City and they face a tough Chiefs squad, which yes, there's no Tyreek Hill, but they're still a tough team. They showed it today.
Oh yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a big defensive matchup as well. So thank you guys so much for rocking with me, Fernando Ramirez and Dan and Daygo. We'll be back again, like I said, later. We'll be back in a short while to break down the Chargers and Chiefs game, but we definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with us. And Dan, I need to get out of here because if not, security's going to kick me out and they're going to ask me what I'm still doing here at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah,
but
they're going to pull out the red card for you.
Exactly. And I don't have his high chief Gilberto to get me out of this, so I'm going to have to get out of here.